What's up, guys? Thanks so much for clicking on the video. My name is Leah, and let's recap and review. This will be a two-part or a two-episode recap where we discuss Real Housewives of Potomac season 8 episodes 5 and 6. So let's get into it. All right, y'all. So I didn't think I was gone that long, but it's been a minute. A lot has been happening on my end. And I'm just trying to make sense of it right about now. Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. Just trying to make sense of it. But let's get into this review. So episode 5, not much really happened on episode 5 or episode 6, in my opinion, until we got to the end of the episode, really. So the episode opens up and we see Mia, Ashley, and Giselle, and they're like going to it looked like a boot store. They're going to Austin. I don't remember why they're going to Austin, but they're going to Austin. And they're talking about what happened at pickleball. Giselle irritates me so badly. And I really don't have patience, especially just in the mental headspace I'm at. I just think she's shitty. I really do. The things that I felt were redeeming about Giselle no longer are redeeming to me. She just irritates me. And I don't really see her value anymore to the show. Previous seasons, I would have been like, yeah, Giselle keeps the stories going. But I don't know. I just don't see it for her anymore. She's talking about this whole situation. She said that she called Jamal and, Jamal said those things are real about the evil spirits. And I was just like, you should know because you slept with him and had 3 kids and he treats you like crap. He the evil spirit. So I know you should know they real. But she's really hype about this. And I'm just like, dang, you really don't like Wendy or Eddie for you to be this jovial about Ike pressing Eddie. I was like, girl, okay, we get it. But and the way Giselle was hyping it up, you would have thought him and Eddie got into a shoving match. I was like, girl, they was in each other's faces. It wasn't that big of a deal. It was a bit much. But the way Giselle was hyping it up, you would have thought they was about to throw hands. And I was like, girl, save that for a different conversation. But, for the most part, everybody believes what Nneka is saying. Mia believes it because, like I said last episode, Mama Susie wrote that post about Holy Ghost hellfire on her with the whole water throwing and purse hitting situation. And then Ashley actually believes it too and says she feels like there's some truth to it. So as much as Wendy be giving Ashley's passes, Ashley be showing you, girl, she don't really see it for you either. So Nneka and her husband, they end up going to the doctor. She had such an attitude with him. And mind you, Ike does give goofy, big, and annoying. So I can understand. But he, to me, wasn't doing that much. When she was like, do you want to wear a gown? Why are you doing all this? And I don't know if that was because her nerves were bad, because she was at the hospital or at this appointment. So they're there to learn about her fertility, but the doctor ends up telling her that everything's fine. And I don't know if she wanted an excuse as to why she's not getting pregnant the way she wants to. But the doctor pretty much tells her y'all are fine. You're good. It's just taking time. And I guess in their culture, when you get married, people expect you to have a kid like that. But she, she's not pregnant. But yeah, I don't know. She's weird. Nneka's weird. Also, girl, how old are you? Because you told us she was 35, but at the end of this episode, you said never in my 40 years of life. Girl, is you pulling a Mia Thornton? Now, I will say, y'all, as much as Mia lies, because we know Mia suffers from the disease of liabilities, she's never slipped up when it came to her age. Well, no, when she tried to calculate it, it was funny. But she's never, she ain't never outright had this type of slip up. So I'm just kind of like, girl, are you 40 or are you 35? What we doing, girl? Uh, because that's the question for a lot of people. They're all like, is she 40 or is she 35? So Mia and Gordon, we see them going to like a therapy session. And if I'm going to be honest, I was confused in this therapy session because it first starts off with them talking about their relationship and how they're not in a good place. Mia retained a divorce lawyer. She was saying how now her and G have been arguing a lot more, and she promised herself that she would never have her kids in a situation or in an environment where they would see their parents arguing, because we know Mia didn't have the best childhood. Where she would be arguing with someone all the time. She was just like, nah, like I was done with it. She was like, Gordon lost his company or his placement in the company, and like he's trying to fight back. But I'm just kind of like, maybe we should just focus on our family and keep it pushing. But no, he wants to sue. Then Mia lets it be known that she retained a divorce lawyer. G was kind of like, oh, I didn't think we was that bad. And she was like, yeah, like, you not listening to me, and we've never been at this place. The therapist interjects because Mia starts to get really sad because she talks about how they were looking for new investment properties, found a property. I guess the money that was given to them, they also hired a lawyer. Something happened to where the guy was saying that he was holding it in escrow so it could increase, but then the guy never gave them their money back, so they decided to go to the board to get the guy's license taken away, the lawyer. And when his license got taken away, unfortunately, Mia lets us know that the guy took his life, and it really shook Mia. So I think Mia's whole mindset is now like, it's money, it ain't that deep after that situation. But I think it's a combination of both. I think Mia is like, Gordon ain't got no money no more, so I can find me a new man, because we've heard, because Ashley told on her on Watch What Happens Live that Mia been down in Atlanta living her best life. But then for Thanksgiving, you see pictures of Mia and Gordon with the kids cooking for Thanksgiving. So I don't know. It's giving that a mixture of like Gordon ain't got no money and Mia wants to leave. But also it might be true that she's like, after this guy took his life, it's like, it's just money. It's not that deep. Why would you want to fight with your family? Because she's also like, I guess she didn't want to go the legal route of them suing, because she's just like, I want my kids to still have a relationship with their family. And Gordon's not looking at it that way. He just wants to get back in the company. And this is not the person I married. I said, girl, did you even really know the person you married? Because you married Gordon when you were like 26, 27, and Gordon was in his 60s. I mean, maybe you woke up. I don't know. So we see everybody getting ready to go to Austin. There's an awkward interaction between NECA and Wendy at the airport. Honestly, if I was either NECA or Wendy, my headphones would be on. It'd be a what's up, girl, and keep it pushing. Low key, I might not even speak to you. But they get to Austin. Ashley, being her messy self, she has the group split up by zodiacs and put into the sprinters. So you have Wendy, Candace, Robin, and Mia in a car. And then you have NECA, Giselle, Ashley, and Karen in the car. Robin ain't happy that she in a car with Candace, because she was like, why would you put me in a car with Candace? They keep showing the House of Aaron clip of when he asked Candace, like, what do you, like, the say one word, a word association game, like, you say something and someone's supposed to give you one word, and he was like Robin, and she said fraud. And I guess that really bothers, and then, Candace did other things online after that season, and Robin is just like, she not seeing it for Candace. Candace is in the back of the car, in the uncomfortable. She was like, I don't know, it's awkward. She was just like, but I need Candace to stop saying like she don't know why Robin's mad at her. Like, girl, you ate her up. Like, we can't even lie. You was eating her up on social media. And in my honest opinion, I thought it was warranted. But if you two really did have a friendship, that should not have been your go-to. Same with the way Robin handled that whole situation in Miami when she brought that speaker. Like, if you really cared about Candace, you would have pulled her aside to have the conversation. So in all honesty, they both shafted each other and did each other dirty, and they just not handling it well. Honestly, if Candace didn't really care about Robin, she would be sitting in that car like it was nothing. But I think because she wants to be cool with Robin and she wants to smooth over everything, she's uncomfortable because she doesn't know how to approach the situation. If I was her, I mean, I'm not fighting for nobody's friendship. That's just me. That's just me. So the ladies pull up to the hotel room. We see that Ashley and Robin get the penthouse suites. Ashley told the reasoning for giving Robin a penthouse suite is because she's been through a lot. I said, okay, but it's been self-inflicted by marrying a man who already treated you badly. But all right. So she got her own penthouse. The rooms were really nice. The penthouse rooms were nice, and even the regular rooms were nice. It was just the views in the regular rooms were bad. Like they were doing a lot of construction, so that ladies were just looking at a dirt pit. Not that great. So we see a few of the ladies go down to the pool area. Girl, Potomac is so ghetto. Not even ghetto. They're just average, and that's what sucks about it because it's like, y'all couldn't even get the pool to be private so y'all could film these scenes. You got them like slow twerking near the pool while people walking around. It was some lackadaisical twerking too. It was lame. But they're sitting down. We see Candace, Karen, and Wendy sit down. And Candace and Karen are asking Wendy, how are you doing? Especially with the whole NECA situation. And I forgot to say, there was a scene of Wendy and Eddie having a conversation about the situation. And the thing about it is like, two things can be true. Eddie could have followed Ike or could have unfollowed him. But to be honest, if y'all didn't have any interaction, what's the big deal about him unfollowing you? Eddie is saying that Ike graduated a year or two like after him, so he really didn't have like that connection with him. And I mean, I got what Ike was trying to do to be like, bro, we know each other, but it's like y'all don't know each other, especially back then on Facebook, because Facebook used to be only for college students. Like you could only get on Facebook if you had a college email. My thing about it is, me, like I remember when I got to undergrad, there was a follow train. So everybody was just following everyone that had the school hashtag in their bios on Twitter. And did I interact with most of the people? No. There's maybe out of all the people, because I followed, like I think I started off my account with maybe 89 people. By the end of the follow train, I had close to 200 people follow me, and I followed almost 200 people. And did I know any of those people? No. So I feel like to be like, oh, we knew each other is a stretch, but I do get what Ike was trying to say and be like, we know each other to an extent. But to be like, you don't know me? Yeah, no, I don't know you, sir. We seen each other online, but that don't mean we've ever had interactions. But Wendy says the same thing pretty much when she's sitting down with Candace and Karen, where she's like, I don't know NECA enough to really have like beef with her, but it definitely makes me look at her differently, because it's like, you came into this group to come at me, and it's like, why, when you're supposed to be like my fellow Nigerian sister and you got beef with me? So the next scene we have is of Robin and Mia talking about, the situation with the guy taking his life. And we know Robin has dealt with a similar situation where her and Juan got scammed. And when the guy was finally revealed and everything was laid out on the table, the guy jumped off a bridge. And Mia's whole thing is like, it's similar because, the guy scammed them. They went to go get the guy's license taken away. It got taken away, and he decided to take his own life. And Mia was just like, it was just money. Like, it wasn't that deep for him to do something like that. And Robin was like, yeah, like a piece of you goes missing. Like, you feel responsible. And the truth of the matter is, neither one of them should feel responsible. Like, I had to take a psychology class that taught me how to be more empathetic to those who do attempt or commit, that act, mainly because I always felt like it was very selfish, because it's like you do this and you leave destruction in your wake. But like taking that psychology class in undergrad really taught me a lot, how you could be so lost thinking everybody hates you and they really don't, where your mind just plays tricks on you. And that's a scary place to be, where you feel like you can't even trust your own mind. And that's terrifying. So I had to really reevaluate the way I look at that. And anytime I read about it, I always just pray that the person found peace and stuff like that. If anybody comes across this video and you're feeling that way, don't do it. Don't do it. You're going to make a permanent decision to a temporary situation. And I know it doesn't feel temporary. Whatever you're going through or whatever you're feeling doesn't feel temporary, but it really is. It's just right now you don't see a way out. And it's frustrating. You get angry, you get pissed. You're asking yourself, why me, God? Like, I've been faithful. I've been trying to do everything that, the world tells me to do as a good citizen, as a good person of faith, and things still don't work out for me. And it sucks. Like, the shit sucks, okay? Unequivocally sucks ass. But there's hope. There's more to you than the situation you're going through. There's people out there that actually care about you. I don't even know you and I care. So don't do it. Just don't. Find a other way to get over this situation so you can have the peace and the life that you deserve, because you do deserve it, even if you don't feel like you do at this point. So Robin and Mia embrace after their walk, and I thought it was a good scene. We don't really get genuine scenes from Potomac. So while they were walking, we end up seeing NECA, Giselle, and Ashley come sit down, and Karen gonna be like, Giselle, when you're in the group and Candace isn't there, you're a lot more open. You're a lot, you speak and stuff like that. But when she's here, you don't say anything. And Giselle and Candace pretty much says, I'm fine. I'm fine sitting right here with my black ass. Like, we good right here, sis. Like, I don't have to talk to her. She don't got to talk to me. She thinks if she ignores me, I'm gonna disappear, but I'm not. And then Giselle says something about, like, for the safety of my kids and stuff like that, I'm just not going to engage. And then Candace is like, what you did to my bonus kids or my stepkids for their safety, you didn't care about their safety or their mental well-being after what you accused their father of trying to do to you. And we see each other pretty much. And this is where I feel like, yeah, Giselle's just a shitty person. Because then in the confessional, she said, your husband took me into the hotel room and shut the door and locked it. Or something to the effect of, like, he went into the room and he shut the door and locked it. I said, he didn't. You even said, Giselle, that he left the door open, that you sat on the opposite side of the bed. He stayed on the opposite side of the bed. And then when you asked him to leave, he left. You're just a horrible person at this point. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Like, that's nasty behavior, bro. That is, because you know the repercussions of saying that about somebody, especially a man. And I don't even like defending men, but to label someone like that is mean as hell, and it's nasty. And I don't get the angle. Like, just admit that you, like, even if you want to say I was uncomfortable, because like I said in my reviews, Giselle had every right to be uncomfortable. Every right to be uncomfortable. But what you don't have a right to is accuse someone of making you uncomfortable when you admitted out your own mouth that he didn't touch you. He didn't say nothing egregious towards you. He didn't proposition you. And when you asked him to leave, he left. Your uncomfortability is yours, not anybody else's. Not anybody else's. And Karen tells Giselle, like, well, Giselle, me and you have had our situations and our issues, but we've been able to come back. And I was like, that's because Giselle sees value in you, Karen. Giselle don't see value in Candace. Her friendship to Candace was a means to an end. And that was to get Monique off the show, and she off the show. Because the next season after that, Giselle told Mia she'd have been okay if she popped Candace upside the head. So, yeah, she never cared about Candace. So they then get into the confrontation about NECA and Wendy, and I don't care. I don't care anymore. I don't care. They released text messages, still don't care. I mean, Wendy got tripped up at the end when Wendy tries to say that her sister and Lebe used to be cool, but they weren't cool anymore, and that Wendy don't really know Lebe. But then, like NECA said, then why were you honoring her at your child's, I think it was like her christening or her baby shower? And it's like, yeah, Wendy, she got you there. I just feel like we just need to, this is what I want Wendy to say. I want Wendy to be like, yes, I know you to a certain extent. We've had dealings and passings, but do I personally know you? No. So when I saw you, I said it was nice to see you, because it was nice to see you, but I don't have a relationship with you, even though my sister and Lebe are friends. But we find out that Lebe and Ivy aren't cool anymore. And then, you know, Mia and Robin come and they sit down and they use Mia as like a example for Wendy about her mom when she did the Holy Ghost Hellfire. I didn't take that as a curse. I mean, as a church kid myself, I took the whole statement of Holy Ghost Hellfire as Wendy's mom saying, girl, I will run up on you if I ever see you in these streets after what you did to my baby. That's what I took it as. I didn't take it as a curse. I just took it as the mama cussing you out in a very churchy, nice, nasty way. But I'm over this conversation. And now they're trying to push the narrative that Wendy wanted to be the only Nigerian. Again, her friend Ashley is like, well, Wendy, just admit you wanted to be the only Nigerian. I said, Ashley, I feel like doesn't understand. The way she put her foot in this is it's not good. I think when we get to the reunion, I don't think Ashley is going to apologize, but I feel as though she's going to have to. Like, I feel like she's going to begrudgingly have to apologize because the way the Nigerian community has been, like, eating her up, especially on TikTok, like, girl, you might want to be careful in them DMV streets because somebody might try you, girl. They might try you. And that's really where the episode ended for episode 5. So episode 6. This one might be short because honestly, like I said before, and I might have not said before, but you know, I do so many takes of this. There wasn't much happening in these 2 episodes 5 or 6. But pretty much, we're still down at the pool. You got Wendy and NECA still going back and forth. Wendy said something about NECA being on crack, or smoking crack, or I don't know. Everybody like crack. Then they all get up and start doing these lackadaisical twerking. But before that twerking situation, Candace went and checked on NECA, and Wendy pretty much said, don't mention my name when you speak to her about me. And Candace was like, I get it, but I still want to see if she all right, because I just, you know. And I don't have a problem with that. Some people had an issue with that, but like, if Wendy is always okaying her relationship with Ashley, and we know that Ashley and Candace don't get along, then I think it's okay for Candace to go check on NECA. We then have them all getting ready to go out to dinner. They go to dinner. They have like the sex talk like they always do. We found out that Robin liked to swallow. And like everyone was saying, why are you swallowing and you don't know where that man been? I said, like Karen said, girl, I read the headlines. I wouldn't be swallowing nothing. Girl, same, Karen. Because what? Then they talk about getting peed on. Candace says she don't mind getting peed on. And then they start talking about eating booty. And I saw Ashley get real quiet. I said, girl, don't tell me you was over there eating that decrepit, pasty man's booty. Ugh. Girl, you lucky your mouth didn't fall out. You are lucky your mouth didn't fall out. So we then see them, like, they had a good time at dinner. We then see them talk to Karen about, like, her following, the whole following situation, where everyone's like, Karen, you paid for it. And Karen is like, no, I didn't. And they're like, yeah, you did. You did pay for it. And she was like, no, I didn't. And they're like, sis, you did. Because, like, they tell you if you pay for the blue check or not. And Karen was adamant that she ain't paid for it. But more than likely, Raven got her to get it or something like that. I hate that Karen keeps saying that she's in her triple 20s. Girl, just say you 60. And because you look good for 60. You really do. You the most fashionable on the cast. You keep it right. You keep it nice. We dig it, Miss Grandon. So it's the next day. Ashley wants the girls to like, they're in Ashley's penthouse. She wants the girls to reconnect with their femininity. Ugh. And they're gonna paint their vaginas, pretty much. Karen is like, I don't like, no. And they're all laughing about it. And Karen's like, I don't go down there. Okay, no, I don't want to paint it. That's when Karen is like, to me, is showing her age. Cause it's like, girl, it's a vagina. You have one. You had one for 60 years. Like, just look at it and paint. But I understand it being uncomfortable to paint your vagina in front of all your friends. Like, I don't know if I would want to do that. So next thing you know, Karen starts wanting to have a conversation with Robin. Now in episode 5, Karen was talking about how Robin and her are slices of pie, or Robin is a slice of pie, and she dealt with half of the pie at Ashley's party, and she put the other half of the pie in the freezer. I was like, Karen, this analogy is stupid. But pretty much what Karen was trying to say is that me and Robin are like half good, half not. I got my good eye on her. We really didn't dive into what I really would want to talk about it, but I let it go at Ashley's party because we was at Ashley's party. But now that we're in Austin and everyone's here, I feel like we should talk. So Karen pretty much says, you know, Robin, you've been going through a lot, because we know that that's why Ashley gave you the penthouse suite. But you only share what you've been going through with half of the group, and I feel like it divides the group. And I see where Karen is coming from, but I also don't, because it's like, well, if you're friends with certain people, you're in a group, you're only going to share certain information with certain people. Like, that's just what it is. Like, you're not going to share with people you don't trust will have your best interest at heart. So I don't fault Robin for doing that, but I get where Karen is coming from, where it's like the group is divided. I don't think that's Robin's doing. I think that's Giselle's doing, but that's just me. So they start asking Robin about her not sharing. She starts talking about how, like, I only share with people who reach out to me. And Candace is like, I reached out to you and you left me on red. Especially, and it was like text message about Juan losing his job. And Robin is like, are you serious, Candace? Like, after the way you came at me online, like, girl, I'm not talking to you. And how, you know, I've been going through it. And Candace is like, same. So what we talking about? Which is true. Like, girl, y'all tried to ruin her husband's character. Your husband's character, and Robin's husband's character is actively being ruined because of his own actions. So it's like, you can't really say I've been through a lot and not see that Candace has also been through a lot. So they're going back and forth. You then see Robin like get up. She's like, come at me. I was like, Robin, sit down. Everyone's looking at her like, you look crazy. You look crazy. You look crazy right now. Even Giselle kind of was looking at Robin like, girl, sit down. So then they start questioning her about the DMs and about the whole situation with the girl in Canada. And Giselle was like, just because we didn't talk about it doesn't mean that we didn't have a conversation. And I was like, well, you talked about it, but you didn't talk about it on camera. That's what they have an issue with. So then Karen said Robin is giving them polygamous ladies who gonna defend their man no matter what. And then she got a bonnet in the confessional. I said, girl, the hell? But I got where Karen was coming from. Like, you're defending Robin is defending Juan at her own expense at this point. Like, I feel like people would give her more grace if she would just be like, yeah, he cheated. I took him back and we're trying to work through it. The whole like, oh, he didn't do anything. It makes you look stupid because no one believes you. Like, I don't even think you believe it. I just think you keep telling yourself that. So Robin is like, you know, because I think Candace brings up about like, well, you saw the DMs, but you didn't look at them. And like, are you not curious? And she was like, no, Juan is really, you know, he deletes everything. I said, girl, someone who has to delete all of his stuff consecutively is not somebody to be trusted. Because why are you always erasing your history? Like, who are you trying to hide from? The IRS, the CIA, the FBI? Who? Like, there's no need for you to constantly wipe your history unless you have something to hide. So as Robin is standing up, like I said, everyone's looking at her crazy. She's trying to explain herself. And then you got Wendy looking into the camera when Robin tries to like explain why Juan clears his history. That was funny. Like, I ain't even gonna lie. That was funny because Robin was full of it. Robin was full of it. So the next few scenes we see is the ladies break off into groups. And we see Wendy, Candace, Karen, and Mia go out for drinks and lunch. And they're just talking. And a bird comes. I think it was a crow. And Mia's like, is that your mother, Wendy? I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I cackled. I said, Mia. Mia is good for a good cackle. And you got Karen being like, girl, no. And then Candace is like, ooh, girl, no. And then Wendy was like, that's not funny. Like, I don't find funny in that. And Mia was like, okay. And so Wendy ends up getting emotional because she is like, y'all don't understand how hard it is to be Nigerian and then to have the whole shrine thing. And then Wendy explains that in the Catholic faith, there are shrines, which we do know. Like, people go and pray to them all the time in the church. She was like, in Catholicism, there people have shrines. And like I told y'all, Christians have shrines too. Your grandma got 59 crosses on the wall. That's a shrine, baby. Or three or four pictures of Jesus. That's a shrine, bro. And so she just gets emotional because she's like, you're attacking someone, a single mother who I know gave up her life so me and my sister could have a better life. And I can't rock with you with that. We could never be. And I was actually surprised that Mia was like, you know what? I'm sorry. Like, she didn't say I'm sorry, but she pretty much says, you know what? You didn't find funniness in that. And I know how you feel about your mom. And I know we're trying to move to a better place. And I'm not going to bring that up. I'm a walk it back. I'm a step back from it. And I was like, that's growth. I said, come on, Miss Colossal Feet. Okay, Mia out here showing growth. Showing big growth. So then we see it's the next day and the ladies go to breakfast. Was it breakfast or was it lunch? I know I think they end up meeting up for like more, because it was weird. I think Candace and them were doing like a liquor tasting, and then they went and got dinner together or lunch together, whatever. Y'all know they all in a restaurant together and talking. So Mia is being like asking all the questions. She asking 50 questions. She asks Ashley about her divorce. I told y'all Ashley is not getting a divorce from that man. I really feel like they decided to have this divorce storyline so that Michael didn't have to come up on this show anymore, and that if he decides to step out in the marriage, Ashley don't constantly look stupid. Because that's what it's given to me. Because the fact that she's dragging her feet. And I'm like, if you really wanted to be done with him, you would have been done with him. You would have just let it go. That's just what it is. You would have just let it go. You wouldn't still be trying to work out everything. She talks about her custody and how she wants certain things and stuff like that from him, where she wants the kids all throughout the week and he gets them every other weekend or something like that. So then Mia asks Candace about her legal situation, and Candace is like, I'm not talking about that with this group. And Robin is like, well, can we say what we can't talk about in this group? And Candace is like, Robin, don't be dense. And you see everybody at the table like, ooh. And Robin's like, what do you mean? She was like, don't be dense, and you're not stupid, Robin. I'm not speaking about a legal matter that's ongoing. And then she brings up about how Robin spoke about the legal matter with Juan last season on the reunion. And she was like, I don't think that helped his situation out either. So I'm not about to hurt myself. So let it go, Robin. Let it go. So they start to kind of discuss Juan's case because Wendy brings up it being a Title IX case. And like she expressed, a Title IX case normally deals with discrimination or anything of like inappropriateness, sometimes in the sexual nature, but not all the time. I have a family member that works in higher ed, so they have explained to me about Title IX, and the thing about Title IX is if they're not like, you have some universities that take that stuff seriously and those that don't. And depending on what type of school you go to, depends on the severity of punishment against the professor or the student that has a Title IX case opened against them. So Wendy is talking about it, and she's just looking at Robin like, girl, let's not act like you talking about this on the show and then the behavior that Juan has exhibited didn't contribute to him getting fired. And I think it's a culmination of both. To me, reading the article about what happened at the university, Juan did the bare minimum, and he should have did more if he truly cared about them students the way he was letting on. In my opinion, you can have a different opinion, letting on in the big previous episodes. I also don't think Robin being on this show helped. I don't think her speaking about it made it worse, but then when everything came out about him cheating, it's like, it's too much going on. I think that's what really ultimately got him in trouble. It's like, it was too much going on all at once. You got this lawsuit with the student, then it comes out that you out here cheating on your wife. The lady got receipts. Then there's another lady, you taking pictures with, people catching pictures of you and your staff at the nail salon. I just think that it was a culmination of like a lot of things. And the school was just like, we can make him a scapegoat in the sense, because the school is still liable too. Like, they didn't protect that athlete either. But it's just like, we let him go. He deals with what he got, that tornado he got with him, and we deal with the tornado we got with us. So I think it was a combination of everything. So they leave the restaurant. We then see them get ready to go and do another activity. So they all pile in the Sprinter. This is where we got Robin breaking down, and where we get her sitting on the side of the road crying, because she's sitting in the car with Candace, Wendy, and Mia, and they're all talking about like, where are we going? And so then I think Wendy asked Robin if she was cool, okay, since what happened this morning during breakfast. And Robin was like, no, like, you bringing up Title IX stuff. And Wendy's kind of looking at her like, well, that's what the case is about. And then you talking about, I may have contributed to him losing his job, as she points to Candace. And Candace is like, I don't know the particulars of everything, but what I do know is it's not good to talk about open cases, and I don't think you speaking about it did help. So then when Robin starts breaking down, you got Mia looking like, oh my God, is she really crying? Is she all right? Is everything okay? And she's like, Robin's like, what have I ever done to you guys? Candace tries to console Robin by touching her, and she's like, girl, I don't have a crying or a triangle. Like, girl, stop crying. And Robin, like, she jerks away from her, like, don't touch me. And Candace is just like, Robin, don't cry. And then Wendy is like, Robin, please don't cry. And Robin is like breaking down, and she was like, this case has been like, this has been the worst of everything. And probably so. Like, I guess it's like I think it's like a combination of everything. Like, you find out your man cheated, and then he's broke because he lost his job. Now y'all are kind of back at square one, back at square one, where you are the person footing the bill for everything. And that's a lot of pressure. You also are dealing with someone that you basically can't trust, but you chose to get back with them. So I just feel like Robin is just overwhelmed, and this was just her releasing it. But I did think it was crazy when she was like, I've never done anything to y'all. And I was like, Robin, you have. Girl, let's not play games. That whole boombox thing in Miami, this whole situation with, the boombox thing in Miami with Candace, then kind of playing like you jump fence when y'all got to the reunion with the whole Chris situation. Then with Wendy, you uninvited her to the party. You've been nasty towards her. You were a part of that whole little thing where Robin and what you and Giselle trying to say she was changing her body for her man, but you doing it too. So it's just like, you've done things. I think the only person in that car you ain't really messed with is Mia. But then again, no, you said you didn't believe Mia had cancer. So it's like, you've done things. Like, you're no saint. But it was kind of sad to see her cry, because it was a cry of like, I feel like she's defeated and overwhelmed, and that's never a good cry. And trust me, I've been there. I've been there. But yeah, y'all, that is it. That is all. Remember to be bravely authentic, and hop down in them comments below. Deuces.